Yo, what's up, pups? How's everybody doing tonight? How's everybody doing? What's up, Christopher Gleason? Good to see you. Deerslayer. Grumpy Schnauzer. How's it going? Andrew, what's up, buddy? Abdella. Last morning. Hey, gang, what's up? Lunacy Point. Pulse Jiu-Jitsu, what's happening? What's up, Alpha Hover? Kirill Cash, Crypto Phil, good to see you, good to see you. What's up, Char? Man, it is absolutely nuts. It is absolutely crazy out there. I am feeling it big time. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not feeling too well, so I'm gonna do the best I can. I'm gonna get right to the point today. I'm gonna show you some of the news that I think is really important that we need to be aware of. And then, what's up, Fast Abdul? How's it going?
Hey, Wolf.
Good to see you, good to see you. And
Just in Vegas.
you just got back from Vegas?
Yeah.
Yeah, good, man, good. Yeah, let's hear about what happened at the Pulse conference. And we'll just get right to the charts mostly. What's up, Zach? How you doing? What's up, Far Out? Psycho Crypto, Hex Girl. I am not feeling better, but I'm not feeling worse. So hopefully we get through it. What's up, Scott Cutting? What's up, Grav? What's up, Daddy Hexler? Good to see everybody. What's up, Kirill? Yup. Everybody smash that like button. And subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. You know what to do. Let me see what we got here. Oh, it's too sleepy. Got a little bit of rain going there. I don't know what we're gonna have tonight. Yeah. Can't hear Fast Abdul? Fast, say something.
Yeah.
No, we can hear him all right.
Let's go.
Yeah, you should be able to hear him all right. Chat, let me know if you can't hear. I can hear him just fine. Though. Let's see.
Bitcoin to $1 million.
He's nice and positive. I know what you're feeling like right now. It's kind of like how I'm feeling. You're feeling like you kind of got gypped a little bit. Well, at least you get a free hug, right? But you missed out on the big gains. But look. No, you didn't. Abdallah, what's up, bro? Good, man. Good. Yeah, you know, sometimes you just got to wait your turn. It's coming. I'm not too down on the markets, but we have to, go through with a little bit of pain, as Trump mentioned. Now, I did a stream for you guys a couple of nights ago. I had just started getting sick that night. I called it short. It was like an hour and 20 minutes. I was feeling it coming on really strong. But we covered what was mostly important. And really what it was we're heading into this Eclipse ritual. And I did a stream with Stefan Burns. Stefan Burns was just recently on a huge network talking to them, and you guys saw my post on X, so a lot of people are realizing it. For a lot of people, it's a little too late, but this was part of a ritual. There's no doubt about it. That being said, it doesn't mean it's the end. There's a lot more going on than we realize, but check out this video I found.
I said, look out for today, March 10th, for a ritual. I was very active on Twitter. Make sure to go to my X account and you'll see what I was showing. How March 10th today is when the first $100 bill was made. Right here, you can see it's marked March 10th. And The Economist magazine, which is in the 0-day movie, and you can see the 1988 edition with the eagle, the phoenix rising. The eagle is the sun symbolism with the fleur-de-lis. To the March 10th issue with Trump lighting the $100 bill, and there's even reports that they're gonna put him on the $100 bill. But this goes into symbolism of what's happening now. And today we had a large, massive cyber on X and many other platforms that are happening right now. Cargo ships crashing, US cargo ships crashing. This goes into the AI war that I've been talking about for quite some time with all the different planes and trains and automobile crashes. And shout out to everybody on the Discord, DJ, Nikki as well, showing a lot of the slides. Very much appreciate it. Make sure I got those links down below. Go join the Discord group. That's for Patreon members only. A lot of people on there. We're having a good time over there. But the whole cyber goes into this book 1 second after. The cover of the book shows the eclipse. We're coming up on the eclipse on March 13th and 14th. And the full moon energy of these blood moons, also known as an eagle moon, the energy takes place 3 days before. This is why I said March 10th will be the kickoff to the ritual, and it is. You got X, which goes into the new financial system, going through these cyber right now, because we're coming up on this eclipse, which I believe there will be a sacrifice the day before, the day of, or the day after the eclipse. That's usually how it goes. Evelyn de Rothschild, who ran this Economist magazine during this issue, he died the day before the eclipse. The eclipse is very much tied to Trump, and we can see that in a lot of the symbolism. In the Economist magazine, they made him the eclipse. So we've been tying this eclipse thing for a while, and I said that this is the start to the economy, the money. It's Monday, and the Dow dropping 890. At least according to the mainstream media. Some say it's 1,000, just other ones. But this one says Dow minus 890, and that is intentional. Even the Mountain Dew, the new edition of Mountain Dew, Baja Midnight, was showing the full moon. The purple in Mountain Dew is connected to the pitch black, the cyber, the pitch black resetting of the internet with the WE. And the new Mountain Dew Midnight was showcased just a week prior to this massive outage for this full moon energy, because these rituals go down on certain astrological alignments. Even the Trump attempt was taking place during one of the top days for the sun being at its peak height. In the Analema and astrology, all these rituals go down these days, even though I am made fun of for showing it, but I show all the proof, and this is how the elites work. John D was the court astrologer for the Queen. So I'm not going to be gaslit by the mainstream alternative. With the black connected to the eclipse with Leave the World Behind. The Economist magazine right here, where Trump is the eclipse. Candace Owens' book's called Blackout. Here's the eclipse for 1 second after, which was the original Leave the World Behind with the buck, right? It all goes into money. And the 128 code, December 8th, 128. And we'll show you how this 128 is also connected to this black. On 128, January 28th, the clock was at 89 seconds to midnight. Well, you got the Baja Midnight and the economy crashing Dow with the 890. You always remove the zero in numerology, because that's what the movie Zero Day is all about. And the original owner of X, Twitter, Jack Dorsey, who tweeted 0 Day on August 10th, the day for the helical rising of Sirius. Very important day, the dog star. We just saw Gene Hackman and his dog, the dog and the star, die and were mummified. Well, the helical rising in the dog star of Sirius, the hieroglyph of Sirius, goes back to where the mummies are, the mummified mummies in Egypt, and America being the new Egypt. And even America is based off of this symbolism of the helical rising. The whole America symbolism is based off of the hieroglyph of Sirius. This is following the symbolism. We're not following the money. We're following the symbolism because money can just appear and disappear at any time. They can print money to infinity, first off, right there. But going back to the Knights Templars and more of the ancient stories of control, which goes all the way back to Venice and Phoenicia. That's still happening today, but you're not going to hear about that. So it's something I'm looking out for. I'm also looking out for this eclipse. I think the big ritual will be going down for the eclipse. The rituals have just kicked off with this March 10th date. And the next one will be this eclipse, this blood moon. So after this eclipse, we'll be coming up on the Ides of March. The Roman calendar, Ides of March, March 15th. This is when Julius Caesar, via a conspiracy, was stabbed 23 times. That's also coming up, but the spring equinox is the big date. It's happening at 2:01 a.m., like event 2:01, on March 20th. And the spring equinox is where we get the skull and bones, the crossbones. Also, the couple days after, on 3/22, just like you got the 3/22 skull and bones secret society, is a day to look out for a massive ritual.
Wow, that was absolutely loaded. Absolutely loaded.
Yep. I like the Mountain Dew part.
Yeah, that is really interesting. They have a Midnight Mountain Dew coming out. What is this? Look at the March close on 9/11. 4,911.71. George Bush, CIA, 9/11. No explanation. Okay. Yeah, I mean, people are going to start putting all kinds of things together. I do think there is something about this month for sure. There's no doubt about it. That's why I did a big discussion with Stefan. Sorry, guys, my brain is absolute mud. I can't even express to you. I do think I got like some kind of C19 2.0 going on because my brain just stopped working. It's like the flu, but not really the flu. It's like something weird. It's really odd. But I did a long talk going on with March, just a few, Stefan Burns on March the 4th, was just a little while ago. I think there is something going on with it, and I don't think it's over yet. I do think he's correct. I do think something's going to happen. Now, something really great, this might end up having something to do with Russia, all right? I think Russia's going to have to come into play here.
Ой, мать моя женщина, медведь на мотоцикле. Паша, обгоняй с этой стороны. Стой тут медленно. Вот это да, вот это круто. О-хо-хо. Миша.
Yeah. Russia's
вот
got the bears.
Да, красота.
The Bears are out. So that's because Ukraine has just agreed to a ceasefire. So let's listen to.
Ceasefire. But very importantly, and I said it, Ukraine, ceasefire. Ukraine, ceasefire. Just agreed to a little while ago. Now we have to go to Russia and hopefully President Putin will agree to that also. And we can get this show on the road. We can get this horrible war where 2,000-3,000 soldiers a week, every week, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 sometimes. I get the reports. And they're not American soldiers. They're Ukrainian and they're Russian. But people are being killed outside of that. People are being killed in the cities as things explode throughout the cities. And we want to get that war over with. So I think it's a very big, I think it's a big difference between the last visit you saw at the Oval Office and this. So that's a total ceasefire. Ukraine has agreed to it, and hopefully Russia will agree to it. We're going to meet with them later on today and tomorrow, and hopefully we'll be able to wipe out a deal. But I think the ceasefire is very important. If we can get Russia to do it, that'll be great. If we can't, we just keep going on and people are going to get killed. Lots of people.
So this would be really great, right? This would be really amazing. Yeah, the only problem is last time they did a ceasefire, all that Ukraine did was rearm. So I think it would have to be something very quick where they need to agree for it very quick. The sad part about it is, or I guess the truth is, the United States gets 50% of the revenue from Ukraine's mineral wealth as repayment for money spent on the war. They get no membership to NATO, and Ukraine concedes territory. That would be great. And what's sad about it, had they just agreed to the peace talks in 2022, they would have had to not share any of their mineral wealth, and they wouldn't have had to concede any territory. But you know, it is what it is. When you lose a war, that's what happens. You lose something. That's part of it. So hopefully everyone just agrees to it and we get peace going on over there. That'd be really amazing. What concerns me is that they might not want peace at this point. They might not want to concede. It does seem like the EU is hell-bent on war, and maybe they want to do something to prolong it. Maybe that has something to do with March the 13th, 14th, 15th, et cetera, what we have coming. Maybe what happens on those dates is maybe nothing to do with there. Maybe something happens in the U.S. We really don't know. But I do feel like whatever's going on here isn't over yet. If you guys are aware, X was hacked, and they traced the hack to Ukraine. So hackers in Ukraine were responsible. And then we also had, like they were saying, the cargo ships were getting wrecked. There's some AI war going on. Absolutely. So this is certainly becoming a very interesting month. Now, just on March 11th, Jim Cramer, just perfectly on time, said today's market sell-off shouldn't scare investors. So I'm now really worried. We are getting a nice juicy bounce right now. We were waiting for that bounce since Monday. So we're finally getting a little bit of that today, but I have a feeling possibly it's going to be a short-lived bounce. All right. Kramer's not to be trifled with. If he said things should be getting better soon, well, we know what that means.
Okay.
Huh?
That's kind of scary.
Yeah, that makes me worry even more. Just doing it with a smile. They put the perfect picture. But McDonald's conditions have improved. Working there is not so bad. It's not so bad. They're definitely hiring. Wow. Now, Fast, how was, before we jump into the charts, how was Vegas, man?
It was great. There was a lot of people there. It was the PLS 369 conference, very much PulseChain oriented.
Okay.
B-Roots was there, Crypto Coffee was there. You know, all the big PulseChain names, except for St. Wolf, sadly missing.
St. Wolf is missing, yeah.
And it was cool. It was neat to meet all these guys that I've talked to on the screen, most of them, but most of them I hadn't met in person. So met pretty much everybody, and got to hang out with Dollar Cost Crypto and Cultivate Crypto. Did a live stream from their studio that they have right in Vegas. So that was cool.
Okay,
cool. It's the first time I've ever streamed with those guys.
I saw some of that. I saw all of that actually. That one you were in.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That was a good one. Maddie was there. Kareem was there. RH Max was down that stream. It was a good stream. Some of the DGen Roundtable guys.
Good, man.
I enjoyed it. And Vegas is Vegas. Like, it never changes, right? Like, it's, there's no time in Vegas. I probably went to bed at 3 a.m. every single day.
Yeah.
So recovering from that, but it was decent.
Did anybody get drunk and do something crazy?
I didn't get any reports of anything terribly scandalous. Like there were definitely people getting drunk, but it was a reasonably mature crowd. Yeah. We did like a golf game on Sunday, and there were events that it was an actual conference, like set up like a university classroom or something, right? Full of people every day. So you couldn't really be too wasted, but people were drinking throughout the day and so on and so forth. I'm sure there was some gamblers that lost and won fortunes at some point, but I wasn't part of that crew.
Who won the golf?
Oh, some ringers from a local team, right? Because there was like $30K in prizes, so some locals came out to play. So there's guys who were pro or close to being pro who came out and won some of the prizes. But I think there was some PulseChain guys that maybe got second or third prize. But like there was one team that nobody could touch that were clearly just professional golfers that could get it and they were getting birdies and stuff like that, and nobody else was getting anywhere close to them. But that was okay. That was the point, is that it was an advertising mechanism, to bring in new people. And those guys were asking questions like, what is this? How does this work? They were completely new to not just PulseChain but crypto, right? Right. So that's long term. Hopefully they can bring in more people if they keep going with that. And I think golfers are a fairly affluent bunch. So yeah, not a bad concept for advertising.
Okay, right on. What was like your big takeaway from it, or that you like really was really most memorable for you?
Well, probably the biggest thing is that it's important to have these in-person meetups. You know, like it sort of cements the community and puts people on a path to move forward together. There's no fighting at these in-person meetups. Nobody's like, I remember you from Twitter, and you know, I won't have lunch with you today. Like, no, we're all friends, right? Like, I've people following me on Twitter today that were fighting with me on Twitter like last month, right? Because of the PulseChain conference. So, you know, it's especially when you have people showing up, speaking on the stage, right? Meeting each other, shaking hands, like you can really develop like a business-like atmosphere where you're going to be able to push things forward. So I think we're going to see things like the PulseChain getting adopted by a big centralized exchange or something like that, be like partially because of the environment of the conference, and people being able to, you know, make alliances, plan to work together for the greater good. You know, like, because we all really need to win together on this one. It's not a it's not a like only one team will win thing. Like we need Pulse to go up, we need Hex to go up, the whole batch, right?
Yeah.
And then all the other tokens will get pulled up with them, right? So
yeah,
it was great for that feeling of like, okay, this is the team, let's get shit done, guys.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I feel like, onboarding, getting the word out about PulseChain should be just on the front of everybody's mind. Really, it's the most important thing.
Exactly. Yep.
And you were looking sharp on that stage, and actually on that round table with that I watched, the one you mentioned.
Oh, good.
Tam agrees. She was looking really sharp too. You were looking very sharp. You were the sharpest looking one of the bunch. Actually, you were representing really well. Oh,
I think we need more of that. There was other people wearing suit jackets too, but I think you know, for a public image, and Richard actually tweeted about it the other day. It's like, we need a public image of. It doesn't have to be guys in suits. You know, it can be girls in dresses. Like, but we should definitely up the ante as far as what we present to the public about PulseChain and the leaders of PulseChain.
Yeah.
So it doesn't hurt. Right.
I saw that tweet, absolutely, and it's something that you and I have talked about in private, just really briefly as well. That's really important. Those optics do matter a lot, and people don't think about it, but it does matter a lot. It's 2025, pups. We are in the era of Instagram and TikTok, and you know how you curate your vibe. It matters. You know, you represent the community, you represent whatever groups and friend circles you're part of, and it matters a lot. You know,
and new people don't know what it means. Like, well, like if I was wearing my pajamas on the show, and you've all seen me 100 times, like maybe it wouldn't be that big a deal, but somebody just tuned in would be like, you know, why is that old man in his pajamas? Like, it's not, it doesn't inspire confidence, right?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, if your reputation precedes you, if you're Vitalik Buterin, then you can wear like unicorn outfits and stuff. Fine, okay.
Sure.
But
it'd be better if he didn't.
But it'd be better if he didn't, for sure, absolutely. But until you get to that point, you know, just default to, you know, looking your best for sure. 100%. Agree with you. People are going to take your ideas more seriously. They're going to listen to you more carefully. It's this thing.
Like a $200, $300 suit jacket adds a little gravity to the situation, right? Like people are gonna pay a little bit more attention.
Yeah. That's the thing. Yeah, if you have great style, do your style. If you don't, just throw on a blazer, man. It really it adds a lot.
Can't go wrong.
Exactly. Well, I just want to remind you, Trueflation is 1.4 right now. We need to see what happens with the Fed, and what's important to remember is Trump needs to get a handle on this debt. He needs to refinance quite a large portion of this debt, okay? And he's certainly not going to do it with rates where they are right now, all right? So I think he understands the importance of a Fed pivot, and everything he's doing is to help make that happen. There's no doubt about it. Also, I showed this the other night. Remember, auto loans are at a 60-day delinquency higher than they've been since any of us have been alive. All right, if you go back to the dot-com bubble, they were under 6%. GFC, they were under 5%. In C19 era, they were under 6%. We are now pushing 7%. Okay, so Americans cannot pay even their car payments. All right. So if we want to believe that the economy is so great, well, the numbers are telling us something very, very different. Richard made me homeless. Now he's hassling me for not wearing a suit. You don't have to wear a suit. He just said, look your best. All right.
You can.
If you got good style, you can pull it off. You don't need a suit. All right. Just, you can be your stylish best. Get a barber. Going to a barber is not that much.
But like going to the Salvation Army and buying like a $10 suit jacket, like not necessarily bad either, right? I've bought the odd vintage suit at like, Value Village or what have you. Usually because I think it looks cool, not because it's $6. But hey, if I can get one for $6, I'll get one for $6.
Yeah.
Why not? It doesn't have to be $400.
And go see a barber. Whatever your mom or your girlfriend told you, very few guys can pull off a ponytail. So knock it off. Just go to your barber, get a fucking haircut. That's another thing.
Fucking long hairs.
Money market funds.
I used to have a ponytail in my youth.
Yeah, I did too. I did too at one point. But at some point, as men, we grow up. Oh, what happened to my CNBC?
It wasn't great for employment.
Exactly. It's not great for onboarding pups. So, get a haircut.
Not so much.
Money market funds have grown to a record $7 trillion. Here are the biggest ones and the yields they're paying. But look, the point is here, I lost where this thing got reset or some shit. The point is money markets are at $7 trillion, all right? And that's huge. That means there's a lot of money waiting for this pivot to move into the market. So that should just let you know that don't do anything rash. Doomsday is not here. You don't need to run out in the woods and get some kind of military prepper kit. We're going to be fine. But you got to get through these cycles, all right? And you want to be here when this money rotates back into the market, because that's when your bags are really going to pump, all right? So you got to stick around. You got to stick through all this. Now, I actually have a lot more stuff I wanted to cover, but I am under the weather, and I don't want to lose my voice. I want to get to the charts and and just see where we're at, and hopefully tomorrow I'll feel a lot better. I can do a much deeper dive. But
let's hit some charts.
I do want to say that deflation may be something they need to see happen here, okay, before they pivot. All right, it's hard for them to pivot when everything is up so high already, only to reinflate things again with money printing. I hope that makes sense. The egg market might have peaked. The gold market might have peaked. Okay, and I'm not going to bring up those charts right now. Eggs and gold, you guys can look it up. But we may have a reversal on valuations of eggs and gold, signaling a bout of deflation, very similar to what we had during C19. I don't think we're going to have a 5-year deflationary period. Not now, maybe later. But we might have at least a few months of it, at least 1 quarter, maybe 2. So I guess in general what I'm saying is the hand of the Fed may be forced at some point. I don't see that happening this month, though anything's possible, but certainly quarter 3 and worst case quarter 4. Okay, so that gives at least a quarter, maybe 2 for them to reverse, to bring prices down, and then they have an excuse. They can print, pivot, do as they want. Okay, let's go look at these charts. BTC, we're at 83,101. Now, as you can see, we are still in this channel. We're still in this uptrend, okay? As far as I'm concerned, the bull run is still intact, though it's in tatters, but, we haven't broken anything. We're at 83. We've come down to, was it 77? Was it? We touched, 76. We just poked below this line. We came underneath the channel a little bit, but nothing that bad. Now, I do think we could certainly see a little bit more weakness and possibly a drawdown here to the 69.70K area, okay, which I've had for a long time on my chart. I also do think that this diagonal trend line off these highs may come into play. We could wick down to it, and it still wouldn't be the end of the world for me. We bounced off it before. As long as it holds that support, and depending on when we touch it, that could be anywhere from 65 to 63, 64. Okay, I still think that could still hold and keep us above water, but really we need to hold above the old high back here, which is between yeah, let's say 70 to 73K. Okay, we kind of need to stay above here. Let me look here quick. Now, we did have this doji candle here back in December. That was kind of the top, so to speak, if we look at things from that perspective. That was signaling a reversal right there. Okay, we don't get a ton of those. Okay, you absolutely had one right here in December. There's just no doubt about that. A solid doji candle right there. And we have since respected it. Okay, we have since respected it, absolutely. All right. I want to get to some pulse charts before I lose my voice. So I'm just going to look at ETH really quick. After I look at ETH, when we get through all the pulse charts, if we have time, I'll do more of a breakdown of possible up and down like I do sometime, but I'm not going to spend as much time today. ETH came down to 1746. Now we punctured 1900, which is definitely an issue for me. Once again, at the end, I'll do more of a deep dive if we have time. Now, if you come back here to December, I said multiple live streams. I was concerned the second we punctured this right here. Okay, this was exactly on December the 9th. I remember Pedro was on stream, and I remember being like, dude, this is really bad. That should not have happened with that much force. Something's wrong. Somebody knows something. And that's where people were already exiting. All right. And we've been down ever since then. All right. There's just some levels you don't want to puncture. Now, I'm a little concerned that we've punctured 1900, but we have come back above quite easily. And that's good. Maybe this is a big juicy reversal and we just stay above 19, go sideways till all this blows over, whatever. Yeah. Hopefully we just go sideways here. I don't want to see us come down lower. 1673 is next, target for me, and then 1527 is another downside target for me. Now, also let's forget about this right now. Also, I know some people said, I think on X they were saying the Twitter Foundation put in a long Sagamore. Yeah, I can put up a link for that. The ETH Foundation had longed ETH, right? Somebody said something like that. And they had or done something with Maker where they took a long. I don't remember the full details, but pretty much what I got out of it is they were longing ETH. I put the link down there of the Stefan Burns video and we did. Now here's the thing, pups. This is an old trick in the book. If it's public knowledge and it's free, it's not that valuable. Okay, anything that's easily attained is not that valuable. Okay, so just because they have a long open for ETH, with a stop loss at 1200, doesn't mean they don't have 10 shorts open through their shadow companies. All right, so you can never take that stuff too seriously. So anyone who tells you, oh look, the public wallet's never sold or isn't selling or they're doing this, it doesn't matter. What matters is what the 10 other private wallets are doing. All right, and you guys need to understand that. That's why I don't pay attention to any of that shit. All right, I don't care what's happening on chain. I don't care about the news. The charts tell me everything I need to know. There's areas when they get punctured, bad things are happening. All right, because big money moves these markets. All right, and big money does stuff. They leave a footprint, and it's in the charts, and we see it. Okay, just like I was sounding the alarm bells in December when this was punctured right here on ETH. I said, this isn't normal. That should not happen right there. And that was it. Okay, you can't puncture certain lines on this chart. Big money, it's just, when you have that kind of money, it leaves a footprint on the charts. That's the bottom line. Yeah, Hans, so what happened? They were doing a loan. Okay, got you. So it's a type, pretty much they're going long. Okay. And they're announcing it.
That makes sense.
So bullshit, I don't give a fuck. Maybe they're shorting with 10 other things, or maybe they just want to lead you off the cliff. Who knows, right? Who knows what the actual plan is? I'm going to look for clues in the chart to tell me what's going on, right? And we broke 19, so that's a pretty big sign of weakness right here. Like absolutely without a doubt. Okay. Now how low could ETH go? Yeah, well, I gave you guys some levels down here. If we have time, I'll come back and dive into it if I have my voice still. we'll come back. But I want to get to the pulse charts, okay? Is there anything else? I do want to show you really quick the SPX, all right? All right. I was waiting for a bounce. I figured we'd get some kind of bounce here at some point. I kept moving this down. I was like, we're going to bounce here? No, we're going to bounce here. All right, we got a little bit of a bounce here, okay? I do still think we're going to bounce. I don't know how high we're going to go, but I still feel the move is to the downside here. I suppose anything is possible, but I don't see that much. When I look at like generally the markets, like all across all the charts, I don't see that much strength. And with gold looking like it might have topped out, I do think we may be heading into a deflationary phase where just asset prices come down. It's just the simplest way, which is good too, because that means the cost of, your eggs, groceries, housing, whatever is all going to come down a little bit. But our assets are going to take a hit, of course, okay, until they stimulate again, right? Right now we're in a bruise run. Okay, it's a bit of a bruise run right now. Now, what I was showing you guys this because I'm not one of those right now, at least, I could be wrong about this, that thinks that, what is it called? The Great Depression 2.0 is upon us. Now, maybe it comes, but I don't think it comes now. Now, I could be wrong, pups. We could be starting the Great Depression right now, and we're about to have a lot of people are calling for the mother of all crashes. Hey, it's possible. I don't know.
That happens every cycle too, though, right? Like there's always a point where everybody loses belief. Like we look back to 2020, the dip before the pump, right?
Yeah.
Looked a lot like the chart does look a lot like how the CME looks today.
Yeah, and I do think we're going to get one at some point. I just don't think it's now. All right. What I've been thinking of more is about looking at the C19 and counting up from there, like a 1, 2, 3, and we're going to have another deflationary event, maybe like a C19, or maybe like we had back here at the last when we kind of collapsed in 2021, 2022, and everything came down. We might have something similar like that, but maybe not even as bad, because this would be in the last wave. And I don't know where that stops here. I think I have like 4,800 for the S&P. Maybe it doesn't even come that low. I'll have to do a deeper dive on this. And then we push up from there with whenever they stimulate. So right now I have this ending here in May. And then maybe May, they pivot. June, the Fed announces something, and we start moving up into third quarter, okay? Which is what I'm saying, third or fourth quarter, right? And then we push up incredibly heavy into 2026, even touching into 2027. Right now I have this at 77.40. I did that off a fib, really simply. We didn't even hit the 1.618 fib right now. And then that could be your huge blow off top. And then that might give us like a bigger crash, right? After you get these 5 waves. And yeah, that's just the way I'm looking at this right now. I think this is very realistic. So you'd have a big crash near the end of Trump's 4-year term. But something might set off this deflationary event. So maybe something does happen over the next couple of days that just convinces people it's done. I think a lot of people will throw in the towel. They'll sell in May and go away, thinking that we're about to go into some Great Depression, or it's like the end, whatever. And then the Fed comes in here, and it's actually, instead of a sell in May and go away, it turns out you should have bought in May and just do nothing, right? Was it like, can we have come up with a line for that? Sell in May and go away. Maybe this is like buy in May and enjoy your summer days, right? So you should be stocking up and just do nothing then for the next year, literally. You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of what I'm thinking. And I've been thinking about this for a while, even before we got into March. I mentioned something happens because, see, they need to somehow bring in that money from the sidelines, all the money market money, the $7 trillion. A little period here of deflation will bring that money in, because then they know they got a lot to run. And if the Fed does a nice juicy pivot there in June, and the thing is, you need to buy up. We'll talk about that as we get through April, when to really be heavy buying here. But it'll be front run for sure, because big money will know. They will know ahead of time what the Fed's going to do. All right, that's why I tell you the charts leave all the clues, because big money, they know shit. All right, same thing when you see weakness in these charts, it's because big money already knows something's coming a month from now that us plebs don't know anything about. That's why we got to dig around the charts to look for all these clues, right? Now let's get to PulseChain. All right, we need to get to Pulse here.
One thing I found interesting, like obviously ETH isn't doing what we want it to do,
Yeah.
but when we look at the sack bags and the value of ETH at the time when it was purchased versus the value of Pulse at that time, it's actually a better deal now. So if that wallet were to rotate into Pulse, it would be getting more Pulse per ETH than it would have got at that time. So I find that interesting. If that the holder of that wallet was considering, hey, should I buy some Pulse? The math is actually better now than when he got the ETH in the first place.
Wait a minute. This is the wallet, the sack bag wallet that bought the ETH?
That's right. So when it bought that ETH, the Pulse was like 3 zeros and a 1 2, I think. Right?
Okay,
And now it's
okay.
like 4 zeros, 3 8. And ETH was 3,700, average $3,700, I think, for those buys, right? Whereas
Okay.
we have much cheaper ETH, but we have a much cheaper Pulse. It would get I think nearly twice as much Pulse per ETH.
Okay. So even though as far as ratio goes, they're still doing okay, even though their value of that bag is down massively. Is that kind of what you're saying?
Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
The ETH is down massive, but Pulse is down more versus ETH compared to those prices in those times. So it's actually a good buy. Like it's just if it was just a rotation,
Gotcha.
you would look at it as a good rotation.
Gotcha. So, I think we're still squeezing down. It is what it is. All right. Here you go. This is coming to an end. I have drawn before. I drew something. I think you guys saw my old charts. Where I was like, we could be squeezed down. Ends up being like some kind of falling wedge here, and we pop down. Who knows what's going to happen here? How long this is going to last? We could definitely pop under here for a little bit. All right. Right now we're looking good. Maybe we just track sideways here. I'm gonna go ahead and open up a channel. I'm hoping we just go sideways here. But at the same time, if we are going to go through this period of deflation, I wouldn't be surprised to see this drop under here for a little bit and give us an incredible buying opportunity. And a lot of people will be too scared to know how to DCA because they'll be thinking that the Great Depression 2.0 is upon us. Because I also see the doomsdayer stuff, right? Of like, it's over, this is the thing, nuclear war, like whatever narratives people are going to throw, around for this, right? I do think still, World War III could be a possibility, but we're going to be in a tariff war and a trade war long before there's actually boots in the ground. That would come much, much later. I'm sure for a while we'll just be in this trade tariff war or whatever, but not the strongest looking thing right now, but nobody is right now. Okay, that's just the way it is. What is amazing is how little sell pressure there actually is left for us compared to, like, let's say if you're holding Solana. I was looking at some of those charts, and some of these people still have a long way to go down. All right, so for us, it's really just juicy prices. We've been kind of hanging around down here. We've been down here before, once, twice. We're kind of, a lot of us are just numb to it at this point. We're just hoping, okay, just give us a little more dip so we can get a little better deal than we got the first two times, right? And that's really it, man. We've been down at these places before. Pulse X is looking really good, no doubt about it. But I do have a feeling this could drop down from here. And we do have a ton of support right down here at 402-ish, level. You got a nice juicy M right there, and maybe it will break and come into here. But same thing, we are squeezing down. We're coming to the end. It looks like if I were to just look at these pennants or whatever, it seems like they really start squeezing down come June-ish anyway. So maybe this ends up actually playing out the way we've just discussed. That maybe quarter 3, quarter 4 is the end. So let's see here. This would be squeezing down June-ish, right? If we did get some low something down there. But I think it's I think it's just doing what it's been doing. Still, PulseX is still holding up really good against Pulse, no doubt about it. All right, let's go look at Hex. Okay. So EHEX has been doing really well. It has been showing a tremendous amount of strength. We are still holding this uptrend. There's no doubt about it right here. All right, I'll get rid of that right now. We are in this channel. I've had on here for a while. I'm fine with that. I don't even care if it holds that. It's really great if it just stays in here. We'll probably come down and test some of these lower bounds for sure. I think people are still anticipating a big move to the upside very soon, but and I think we're going to get a juicy pump, but I don't think this month is over, and I don't think the pain ends that easily, because for Trump to get the Fed to take action, and not that he's making all this happen, I feel like things were really bought in the general markets. Things were getting out of control. Egg prices, gold prices, everything was just getting absolutely absurd. So, this was bound to happen, I suppose. But it doesn't happen overnight. It doesn't happen in 1 week. At least you need a month of it, right? So at least I would say March has got to be painful here. Maybe it starts turning around in April. We don't have to wait till May or June, but still we're going to need some more pain for sure. PX doing what it's doing. It just fell under a penny. All right. I have a lot of support down here at 007, which I've talked about that level for a while. Hopefully we don't break under there. The next support is 0.005, so half a penny would be probably your next general area on Hex. Now we need to look at Inc. What's going on with Inc? Now Inc just got a nice juicy little bounce here.
Nice.
All right, let's see what happens. Yeah, I think we're going to come here into this purple box. So somewhere between $1.71 and $1.40. I think we're definitely going to come into here. If the pain gets pushed on us, we'll definitely come down at least here to 137, where we were, not too long ago, about a month ago. And your lower targets would be 120 and 97 cents. And that's it, guys. We got to go through this pain. It is what it is. But like I said, we're holding up really good. There's just not that much sell pressure. We're just casually bleeding out. Some people decide to let something go, or they got to pay something somewhere else. But I don't see any major sell pressure. I don't see any indication that things are going to fall apart. It's just the general market weakness is going to affect us, right? We're just going to slowly bleed down into the right. But I don't see any massive, whoa, we're about to, collapse here, any kind of thing like that. Like I see on ETH or something. I don't see any of those issues on our chain. We're actually looking really good. You can tell people are holding. I'm holding. I haven't touched anything. And maybe getting sick was the best thing that happened to me. I just, I didn't touch anything. Sometimes not pressing any buttons is the best thing you can do.
Often. Yeah. When in doubt, do nothing.
Yeah, it really is, man.
Yeah.
I've learned my lessons brutally. Sometimes when you know a lot, you think you want to do more, but actually just sitting back, just do nothing. Just hold your position, just chill the fuck out. Just go through this period. Like I said, it had to happen. It's going to bring the Fed to the table and pivot. You can't have them pivot when things are at all-time highs and eggs are $13 for a dozen, whatever the fuck's going on. All right, so we need this little momentary, we need some deflation here. We need things to, come down. And pretty much they call it demand. We need a bit of destruction of demand, which we already see happening, all right? Now, here's wrapped BTC. I remember that I told you guys there was a ton of confluence here around 420. We're at 480 now. We did hold really well around there, but we did wick down here to 383. Once again, if the market stays with all this pressure and everything that's happening, of course, we'll eventually break this. And like I said, your nearest big area of support's around 307 to 350. You know what I mean? And you certainly have this wick here to 386. But right now we're holding in that 420 range because you just have a ton of support around here. And who knows, maybe people are picking this up because you're in an amazing DCA territory right here. There's no guarantee we break some of these. Some of these could just hold because like I said, we're running out of sellers. We just don't have a lot of sellers over here. pDAI has come down here and touched major support down here at 0038 and bounced. We're at half a penny right now, and we're holding up pretty good. You've got a serious, they call it dragonfly. It's a very bullish candle right there. That's very bullish. It means a reversal. So let's see what happens. Hopefully we just hang out in this range, and your bottom, this uptrend line of support may hold. You may get 0.004 or something like that, but that may be your bottom as low as it goes. So we're looking good, looking really good. And PTGC was way up in the air there. This doesn't look good at all. And I'd say you're probably going to come down. I mean, you have a lot of support right here, 0.0004, but you have punctured it a little bit. It does seem like people are de-risking on this one. You can see we've broken this here, and we are getting signs of reversal. A lot of buyers have stepped in down here at this level. 0.000, kind of right in the top range of this purple box. There's a lot of support. So, let's see if we go a little lower. We could have a bounce, push up more, but I think at some point you're going to get a rejection here, and you are going to come into this purple box. All right. You just have really massive bags down here, and who aren't going to wait, So this went really high, though. So in all fairness, it did really well. So this one. So when I see stuff like this, I don't see this on the core, for example, kind of what I was saying. When you look at, and by the way, I consider for me right now, Purple Bitcoin, DAI, PulseX, these are all core coins to me. All right. Inc. All right. They just look strong. I don't see like huge capitulation events coming in all these. They could just slowly have a little bit more sell off over this time period, which if you don't have bullish news, it's just naturally what happens to crypto, okay? People just tend to let it go eventually. So everything's looking really good, all things considered. We got a nice bounce across the chain. PulsePup, but it's making a bear flag. Things are working their way down. I think PulsePup will make its way down between 165 and 136. But everything getting a little bounce right now. What else are we looking at over here? Seeing more stables and Pulse. Hasn't pDAI been fudded out recently, or is pDAI still best under $1 stable? Yeah, it's probably still, if you're betting on stables, might be still the best one. Make the USA 11th pro. You guys love fighting with the Canadians, huh?
They're still trying to recruit me to become an American.
Are they? Are you going to become American?
I'm already Irish and Canadian. I don't feel like I need to add on any more nationalities.
You don't want to add more.
My understanding, if you're American, your taxes follow you all over the world.
It's really nasty.
It's not true for Canada.
Yeah, you guys, that's a good thing. That's a good thing. That's great. According to App 22.
Though I do think the concept of more open borders would be good. It used to be when I was a kid, you could just go to the U.S. with your driver's license. If you were under 18, you could just have a birth certificate. Now you need to have a passport. We could be more like Europe, maybe even, right? Like maybe even open borders, right? Maybe you just drive across the border, go to work in the States, go to work in Canada. It's not necessarily terrible.
It's tough getting into Canada, man, because I used to live in the Pacific Northwest, so we'd go up to Vancouver quite a bit, right? And I remember crossing that border every time. The Canadians would like pull me aside. They'd practically give me a cavity search. It was nasty, man, every time. That was the time I had the long hair I told you about, so maybe that had something to do with it.
That was probably because of the long hair.
Yeah. I look very suspicious with long hair.
I don't find it that hard. Like flying out of Vegas is like, a pretty seamless process. You actually clear American customs while you're still in Canada. They have a setup, but yeah, I think it could definitely be more open, but I'm not sure that's the way things are going or not.
No, but ironically, I could see Canada becoming a state of the U.S.
I don't think that's going to happen. Keep dreaming. True North, proud and free, I believe is how the song goes.
What'd you say? What song?
True North, strong and free. That's a quote from the national anthem.
Jim Cork, what's up, G? Thanks, brother. want to bring you guys more. I got beat up on this one. EHEX still looking good. Yeah, EHEX has been very strong, really strong. I think it's just the easiest to get to. If it still has the name recognition, it's over there. Oh, Canada. Winter is coming for Canada, Briz says. So
it never leaves, Briz. It never leaves.
We did it touch my line? Look at that. It touched my line down here at 4 cents. We smashed through the 5 cents. We've come up. We're trying. It's holding pretty strong there at the 4. It's holding pretty strong there in the 4. So that's good. It could be bottoming it out. I think you might go to like 3 cents. There's definitely some supports in here. Very mild. Yeah. But if we get smacked down.
Remember that Richard owns 80% of that one.
Okay, that's true. So yeah, we can't predict really how low he'll step in at some point and hold a floor here, maybe. But he does like juicy pumps.
We know that 80% likely not going to be sold at the very least, right? There's a built-in support there.
He does like juicy pumps, but also likes juicy dumps because the two go hand in hand. So maybe he does let this come down. So 1 penny-ish is really for me the floor. There's really strong support there at 1 penny. All right. But right now you're holding at 4 pretty good. But let's see here. Yeah. I don't think it's tomorrow is the 12th. I mean, we could have a nice rally tomorrow, or tonight and tomorrow. We could have a big rally. I mean, I definitely see some signs that we could be reversing on some of these.
ワールドワイド1873スーパーチャティド $4.99 Would it be a good strategy for RH to pump pDAI to get all of crypto looking at that narrative? Curious because JT looks so bullish. Margo not good THO.
Worldwide. He says, would it be a good strategy for RH to pump pDAI to get all of crypto looking at that narrative? Curious because it looks so bullish. Marco, not good though. Wait a minute. What's this? Would it be a good strategy for RH to pump pDAI to get all of crypto looking at that narrative? All right. So, yeah. Once again, thanks so much, Worldwide. Really appreciate that. Arigato. Yeah, it would be a great narrative, and people would be looking over here. But if you were to do it during a global deflationary event, or, at least a massive deflationary event that we're witnessing now, I don't think it would be a smart timing wise. What do you think on that, Fast?
I think, like RH is likely going to pump some stuff, just like he did recently with PulseX, where we saw parity with Pulse, right, for a time. As far as like the timing, yeah, like if everything's going down, it's not going to be a win. It'd be a temporary pump. If we saw, if we see him pumping stuff, it's going to be when there's general market euphoria, where people think it's never going to stop, and the pump leads to more organic pumps, right? The math just isn't that good right now.
The math just isn't good right now. That's true. But I do think these narratives could come into play for that reversal. So when he senses that the reverse is happening or the Fed is about to pivot, you better have your bags packed, because these narratives could come out very quickly. Like you're saying, he could pump pDAI, or he could pump something else. Now, pDAI would be smart because that got attention all across general crypto, right? It got across to everybody, started talking about it. So it is smart to use that again, whether or not you believe in the peg or not. That's one that seems to get a lot of people talking. So that may be one of the first ones out of the gate for sure. It would be very smart,
if
right?
If he did pump pDAI, a lot of people would be talking. That's for sure.
Yeah.
There'd be some confusion in some parts of the ecosystem, but there would be talk.
Yeah, exactly. If pDAI gets pegged, I think it has to happen when ETH is above all-time high. Maybe not. It just needs to be on the way up, at least. Yeah, it needs to be on the way up at least. And thanks so much for that super chat, Worldwide. Really appreciate it. Yeah, I think most looks fine. It could see a massive rally. It has some strength there for sure, without a doubt. RSI looks fine to me. But once again, if the market bleeds out, then this is just going to come down as well. But I'd be ready. I mean, I think tomorrow you could see the big juicy pump. It seems like things were reversing today, so maybe tomorrow is the big pump day where we get a reversal and people test this out, and then maybe come 13th or 14th you have the last smash down. Now here's pump tires. Pump tires is totally looking like it's bottoming out. Okay,
that's another one where Richard has 80%, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, and this looks definitely like reversal territory with the RSI, like 100%. This looks definitely stronger than most, without a doubt. Just in quick glance, the price action here, this looks really good. I like it a lot. So this might pump really good if we get that big pump tomorrow. If things do really bounce hard, I like this. You've seen it's already broken out. Looks juicy W. Definitely got super bullish divergence on that RSI. RSI is moving up, so looking good. And like I said, this has been my favorite of the two. The other one did better technically, but this one probably might have the most staying power, just in terms of like, pump tires ain't going anywhere, but the narrative of him being most wanted might die out at some point. So maybe this one lasts, but this looks good.
As far as like him actually pumping one of those two tokens with the sack bag, the pump token has much lower liquidity, and
really,
you could pump it really high with relatively little funds. Right,
really?
You're talking like 300K in liquidity. Like put $1 million in that, watch the price triple. It would be pretty interesting.
Cool, man. I didn't know that.
That kind of thing would bring in. I think that's partly why he made these tokens, is because he could pump one or more of them with very little funds from the sack bag and draw attention to the chain.
Why do you say pump has lower liquidity?
Well, I'm just looking on Dex Screener. I see roughly 300K in liquidity for the pump token. But if I put in the most token, I see, over $1 million. 800K, 1.2, 1.3 million, give a dish. So pump could be pumped like 3 times easier than most in terms of the amount of money it would take to give you a 4x. Be like $1 million.
Okay, gotcha. All right. Yeah, it's definitely my favorite of the two pump. Now, Deerslayer says, what if Blood Moon is a fake out to get peeps to dump early and everything rips instead? Okay, I definitely think you could get a big fake out and a huge rally at the end of this month, or whenever that is, after this Blood Moon, whatever, middle of the month. Okay, certainly. But it may only be for BTC. Okay. I don't necessarily see retail all of a sudden, coming forth and buying up altcoins and Ethereum and everything like that. So BTC dominance could just skyrocket. BTC would probably be the one that would win it out until there's some pivot or something. I don't know if it's a broad rip. Yeah, it may just be like BTC and a few select altcoins. That might take that until we get this incentive to bring this money in from the sidelines. Yeah. All right. And liquidate longs for the great rally. It's possible too, Briz. Maybe it is. There are some definitely accumulation charts I've seen that do something like this, and maybe I got a little bit of time. There's actually a lot of things I want to show you guys. There's this guy, like, is it Livermore? What's his name? Is it Jesse Livermore? Hang on, let me look this up.
Not ringing a bell.
he does this really cool thing where he shows I don't remember who it was. Let's see, is it Jesse Livermore?
Sure.
Look this up here.
What happened to that thing about
Oh, there it is.
every U.S. taxpayer getting $5,000? Is that still on the table?
Yeah, that's something absolutely that could happen.
That would be huge.
Yeah.
That'd be good for crypto, I guarantee.
Yeah, so these are the narratives that would come with the pivot. Now, this is a chart that was thrown around in the last bull run, all right? And I'm going to show you guys this, all right? Now, this is from a guy who wrote this 100 years ago, all right? Come on, buddy. Come on. Why? Okay, there we go. And this is really cool, okay? It's the guy Jesse Livermore, that's what it was. Pups, I'm fading pretty quick. So now this is the bull. This is a bull take, all right? Now this guy Jesse Livermore, I'm going to shrink you down a little bit fast for a second here. All right. So what he did was he had this, he calls it an accumulation cylinder with a widening mouth. And then, you know, smackdown right before a massive run up. You guys see that, right? Now, this is like 100 years old. This is 100 years. Now, this is... Damn, I need to get to bed. All right. So you got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. And now this can probably be extended or go sideways. And the point is you're down here and then you do a pop. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And it was funny because everybody thought this was what was going to happen in 2021, and it didn't happen. All right. But I'm going to show you how this might be what's happening now. And it certainly could be the bull take for now. So memorize this chart. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then a pop. Okay. And we don't know the count yet because we're technically just at 7. So you guys see that? All right. Smash the like button, pups. You got to smash the like button. Yeah, touch up that like button. Let me know you guys appreciate this. I'm just hanging on by a thread here. Let's see where we're at. We got 5 people watching on YouTube and 7 people watching on X right now. A couple of you guys can smash that. Let's at least get over 110 likes. I know some of you guys are driving. Some of you guys have your hands busy. But
yeah, just pull your car to the side of the road, press like, press share, press X, press post. You know, it'll take you a minute, then you can get back into track. It'll be fine. Priorities, guys. Priorities.
I know, and I promise nobody's showing you what I'm showing you. All right. And I actually have a lot more stuff to show you, but I'm really sick, man. I got to get to bed. But I want to show you this because I want you guys to know that a guy 100 years ago drew this out, and it could be what's playing out. So, Deerslayer, good call. Thanks for reminding me. Oh, dude, we just blasted past 110. You guys are absolutely amazing, chat. Absolutely amazing. All right, so check it out. So you guys see that chart? Livermore, this is the guy. We're going to go look at the chart right now. Got both hands on the keyboard. Praise. All right, let's come over here to the BTC chart, okay? Now, if I come over here, let me make this. Get some room over here. All right. Okay. What do we have here? All right. Well, we might have the Livermore chart. I don't know if it's called Livermore pivot or something. There's a name for it, but if I just come, I just want to do like if you go 1, all right, and maybe this part, now this is a 5, there isn't a thing for it, but it's pretty much very similar, right? I think there's a thing on here I can draw this with. I'm kind of seeing double right now, and my brain is like really hard to get it working.
So not financial advice then.
Yeah, not financial advice, but I'm my head. Okay, so pretty much if you look here, you've got the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right. And you can maybe count 1, 2, 3, 4. The thing is, this doesn't work because he's counting the points. Okay, so it actually is the same. But if we just do it simply, you guys follow my mouse here. 1.2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and what's this? 7. Okay, what's this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's exactly the same. And to be honest, if you think about the broadening, I did a channel here just to keep this similar, but we did poke out of here. If you were to draw lines, you could be looking at a type of, a broadening wedge, right? And the other thing to keep in mind too is that if I draw from here and I draw this, maybe over here, this extends further down or to the right because this isn't complete yet. All right, so maybe your 7 point comes down here, your 7 point of contact. And then from there, what you'd be looking at, if you just do what this guy predicted back in, I don't know how old this is, at least 100 years old, you've got this massive expansion. I mean, it's enormous, all right? Could we see something like that? Is that possible? Is that what takes us up to 500,000? Like, do we run into a situation where we find whatever this bottom is over here and then we lift off, right? Hit a top, come down, retest, and then da-da-da-da-da, right? Is that something that happens?
Could be.
Yeah. There's actually a lot of things I want to show you, a lot of possibilities. Now, obviously, there's some possibilities to the downside too, but this could be a very strong bullish take. And the fact that somebody 100 years ago recorded this and was like, this is a pattern, right? And what you're going to find, only after the bull run, people will talk about like, oh, this is that pattern. You know what I mean? But I've been looking up these patterns now, and Wyckoff, whatever, and this guy's name's Livermore, I think. And these guys were smart, man. They figured out all these moves back in the day, and they still work. They still work today, right? And this could be it if this is a bullish take. And, even if we have a type of deflation and the tariff wars go on, maybe we just go down and sideways a little bit, all right? And we meet this somewhere, and then we start the massive phase up. Now, it's funny, where I started the drawing is June 23rd right here, Monday, June 23rd. That's where I just happened to start this drawing. Let's see where I happen to end it. February of 2028, whatever. The point is this could be the move, man. It could be the bullish take. Now, I do want to say that we also could have something, ridiculous happen as well. I mean, who knows? Maybe they bring us down to here, and make it look like they're about to crash, bring us to a level. Everyone starts shorting end of the world, and then we run up, right? I don't know. We got to see what happens this month. I think we're going to find out more near the end of this week if Russia and Ukraine come to a peace deal, or all of a sudden we have a big escalation, and that ends up being part of the narrative as well. They're going to need something to bring this demand down and allow deflation to happen. So whatever it is, we're going to need this month or so to do that. But I could still see this is playing out, because so far it's played out really beautifully. You know what I mean? This has been this widening accumulation zone, which we have right here, widening accumulation zone. And then, boom, you've got to move to 300, 400, 500K, as everyone's talking about. I mean, right now I drew it up to 1 million. I'm just, screwing around. But the point is there, right? That we have some massive impulsive move to the upside, right? As everybody races. If they do, think about it. If we do have this moment of deflation, you come up to May, Fed pivots in June, all of a sudden money starts rotating out of the sidelines into assets. You could 100% see Bitcoin making its way to $500,000 or hell, even $1 million. And then you better believe 10,000 X's across your altcoins are going to happen like that. You know what I mean? Looks similar to the last top and drawdown. Oh, yeah?
If Bitcoin goes up to, let's say, 200K and then drops to 150K, and that $50,000 flows into altcoins, that's enough to moon the entire system.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. 100%. So I have some more diagrams and things I want to show you, some possibilities, but I think this is a good place to end for today. So you guys see that there is still case for a very bullish narrative to take place, no matter what happens in this interim right here, right? I'm still, you can see this wide broadening wedge is still in play. You could have some downward action, sideways action. You could still have a drawdown to 65K as far as I'm concerned, and we're still good. 63, 65. As far as I'm concerned, we're still in play. All right. Some people are saying 70. No, I think you go a little lower than that. We're still in play for me, and then we could meet this for that for that big pivot, and we make some massive move to the upside. So once again, I'll drop this in the Telegram. This is the very bullish case. This is great. Of course, there's bearish cases too, but I think this is a great place to end us for today. Also, I do think probably tomorrow morning we'll open with a green pump, most likely across broader markets as well. So that should be good. If you want to de-risk, maybe tomorrow might be that time to de-risk. But yeah, tomorrow could be green. We have to get a bounce. We got to get a bounce. It's been ridiculous. And I'm gonna get some rest tomorrow. I'm gonna do a deeper dive into ETH again. I'm gonna come at this and talk about it more, and we'll look at more altcoins and stuff you guys want to look at. Badini says Livermore made a ton, but in the end he lost all from his money and killed himself, so he was a little too bullish. Badini, you had to end us with that. Did he lose his money? But he was considered one of the greatest traders of his time, wasn't he? I mean, we still use his diagrams and his trading tutelage today, don't we? Baldini, sorry.
You lose if you kill yourself, though. I think that's a good line.
Yeah.
Don't kill yourself.
Maybe he didn't make it. You know, the Great Depression caught up everybody. Maybe he didn't do well during that time. I'm curious to learn more about some of these guys. He was really good. Yeah, he was really good, wasn't he? He just didn't end well, so that's good. You just got sometimes you just got
a lot of geniuses have a screw loose. That's pretty common.
That's true. Maybe he traded too much. Sometimes you just got to sit back and just chill the frick out. Do nothing. Arigato. Bribe for drugs.
No problem.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Fast Abdul. Did he give me Canadian money? Oh, man. What am I going to do with Canadian?
It's only like $7 American. But it's enough for some Tylenol or something.
How much check money? That's good, though. That's good for me. Did he respawn? Mr. Fast Abdul, thank you so much for that super chat. Really appreciate it. And appreciate all you guys for the likes. That was some crazy alpha today. Hope you guys enjoy it. Yeah, Livermore, check it out. Our time is coming. We are very close, pups. What is happening with Trump right now? It's a Trump dump, but it is going to be followed by the Trump pump. And you don't want to miss the Trump pump, because if it's as tumultuous as the dump, it's going to be good. It's going to be juicy, all right? It's going to be great. So we're going to be there and ready for it. So I don't know, Fast, you want to wrap us up with anything?
Well, I think Ink Printer is going to launch pretty soon. I got the audit back.
Yeah.
And probably looking at early next week. So I'll be talking to you about that.
Dude, we cannot wait to talk to you about Ink Printer. We love ink, man. We love that juicy ink. Looks like stuff's just timed up perfectly for when we pivot here. We're going to have a lot of great stuff coming. So,
yeah. I'm bullish on PulseChain in general.
Bullish. Awesome. All right. Thanks, everybody. And good to see you, Fast.
See you, man.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.